My name is Anthony Smith. My wife and I are the founders and the operating officers of Equally Clothed and Smithy Card LLC. Both are just outside of Chicago, Illinois. Equally Clothed is a clothing brand, obviously, but I look at it more as weaponized fashion, kind of like Iron Man suit. Not saying, it doesn't come with anything that'll blow stuff up, but the point of Equally Clothed is to combat and to fight against the imbalance that's in our educational system, starting at elementary, pre-K, going all the way through high school. It's really to fight those things that systemic racism has caused to make many African American schools subpar, giving subpar knowledge and information to our children, and then causing them to not be on a competitive level when they finish. So it's fashion, but it's more. Where did I get the idea? I think I've always, I won't say always, but even all the way back to like high school, maybe even junior high, I've always had inclinations or inspirations connected to fashion, and some of which I've held on to, and hopefully we'll be able to expose those to the world soon. But I always wanted fashion to be more than just clothes. I wanted it to have a message, have a meaning. I'm not a fashion designer by any shape, form of fashion. I don't know an A-line, a T-gap, any of those things. And if I mess those up, please don't be offended. I'm just showing my ignorance to those words, those terms. But I always felt like clothes are more. And if we connect the things that we wear to the messages that we want to communicate, we can be powerful without opening our mouths, really. I read a quote that said, "A drop of ink can make a million think." And I'd like to have that kind of impact for Equally Clothed. Where did I get the name? The name came to me when I was in bed. It was either later in the evening or early in the morning. I think I was praying or talking to my wife, and the idea just came, Equally Clothed. And I was like, okay, that could be cool. And I thought about an equal sign, and I'm not an artist either. I don't draw very well, but I was trying to draw equal signs when I got up, and they were, looked like they did when I was in 4th grade. But I thought it was a cool thing, and so I looked up online and I actually saw there are some different brands that are using the equal sign and something similar to Equally Clothed, but not the same. Then I Googled the name, I checked the website, I checked the social media, and everything was open. So I felt like it was enough for me to have a green light to go forward. And so that's where the name Equally Clothed came from. Equally Clothed will give. Its prime objective is to help fund underfunded African American students K through 12 to help them have the education that they deserve. We don't believe it's the child's fault, and sometimes it's not even the parent's fault. So we don't even look at fault. What we look at is responsibility. And if we're going to be citizens of the world, if we're going to be citizens of America, we have to go beyond our walls, and we have to establish things that benefit people beyond our walls. I was very fortunate. I grew up in a good educational system, very European focused, but still one of the better ones in our state. I was able to graduate from a great high school. I didn't really take advantage of it, but I finished. So even though I didn't live that portion, I understand the benefits of the life that I had. And I probably, to be honest, and most of us will fall into this, I don't understand the totality of those benefits, right? But I know enough to see that because of the system I went through, that I didn't choose, I didn't decide. It just was where I was living, where my parents lived, where my mom lived. That system gave me something that other systems don't give their students. And I think that we have to take on the responsibility to make sure that all students have a fair education and are prepared for life afterwards. Because ever since then, I've been trying to figure stuff out. But it's coming together. Final thought. Do you know what a polymath is? Okay, a polymath is someone that is like an expert in many different fields. Da Vinci, polymath, expert in math, science, art, architecture, and I'm sure more writing. I'm sure there's more. I think he has over 13,000 different pages of ideas and notes. But two things I understand about him. It's the same guy who invented the bike, invented the cannon, and invented the helicopter. Way back in like ancient Rome, he was coming up with these ideas. But part of the reason why he was so powerful and his name is so powerful and potent even today is, well, one, he kept doing stuff. I mean, he just kept working, and he just exercised and worked out those gifts until they became very, very strong and proficient. But on top of that, he was able to use his gifts to complement each other. He would use his math in his paintings. So he understood, if I make someone's arm this long and I want it to be proportionate, then I have to do this and it can be this long. So he would use math to make his pictures better. He would use his pictures to make his inventions more clear. He uses his drawing, his art, to make his inventions more clear. He would use science to help his drawing become architecture, because now he can understand how buildings can stand and how to distribute weight evenly and things like that. And what I realized, and I hope this comes across at Equally Clothed, is that it's not just one thing. This one thing is connected to something greater. And if we disconnect it, it will only be so strong for so long. But if we keep it connected and reconnect it and distribute what we have, we become an integral part of society and we become stronger as a unit. So I think my final thought is, everybody has something. And if we can understand how to connect what we have with other things, we can then become stronger and even begin to see our true worth and our true value. So keep creating and keep building.